The Cold War turns colder. March 8, 1988. Moscow abandons arms pact as bombers skirt NATO air base. Moscow withdraws from missile treaty. Kremlin calls pact a strategic trap. NATO officials alarmed. Moscow. In a dramatic turn, the Soviet Union announced today that it was suspending the participation in the Intermediate-Range Nuclear Forces (INF) Treaty, citing what it calls unrelenting Western duplicity and NATO encirclement strategy. General Secretary Mikhail Gorbachev, in a televised address to the Supreme Soviets, accused the United States of violating the treaty's spirit and letter through continued military buildup in the Arctic and covert missile deployments to NATO-aligned states. Quote, "We will not be disarmed while NATO continues to sharpen the sword," end quote, Gorbachev declared. The INF Treaty, signed just 3 months ago, had mandated the complete destruction of thousands of nuclear-capable missiles in Europe and marked an historic thaw in superpower relations. Today's withdrawal sends shockwaves through diplomatic circles and continues to unravel years of armed control efforts. Soviet bombers push limits in North Sea airspace. Oslo. 2 Soviet Tu-95 Bear bombers flew within 25 miles of the Norwegian coast Friday, prompting NATO fighter intercepts for the 3rd time this month. British and Norwegian officials confirmed that RAF Tornadoes and RNOAF F-16s were scrambled to shadow the bombers as they skirted the Air Defense Identification Zone, ADIZ, of both nations. The military analysts say the overflights are a part of a growing pattern of Soviet probing missions intended to test NATO reaction times and gather electronic intelligence. Quote, "They're getting bolder," said one Norwegian defense source. "This wasn't a routine patrol. This was a message." No hostile action occurred, but Norwegian Foreign Minister Thorvald Stoltenberg called the flight provocative and warned Moscow against further brinkmanship. The Soviet Union Foreign Minister responded by accusing NATO of hysteria and militarizing the Arctic front. Tensions rise at sea. May 1st, 1988. As tensions increase between NATO and the Soviet Union, territorial waters become a new zone of competition. Soviet warships collide with U.S. Navy in Black Sea. U.S. claims innocent of passage. Pentagon calls maneuvers deliberate and dangerous. Norfolk, Virginia. Tensions spiked yesterday as 2 Soviet warships intentionally collided with U.S. Navy vessels operating in the Black Sea. The incident, which took place near the Crimean Peninsula, involved the guided missile cruiser USS Yorktown (CG-48) and destroyer USS Karen (DD-970), which were conducting what the Navy calls, quote, "innocent passage through international waters." According to U.S. officials, the Soviet Kryvak frigate Brizavedny, an Amerika-class frigate, aggressively maneuvered across the bows of both American ships, making contact at low speeds. No injuries were reported, though Karen sustained superficial damage to her foresight. Defense Secretary Frank Karluki condemned the Soviet action, calling them reckless and escalatory. The Kremlin has defended the ramming as a defensive measure, accusing the United States of provocative surveillance near sensitive Soviet facilities. U.S. ships rerouted. Rota, Spain. In a decisive show of force, the United States Navy has redirected a Surface Action Group, SAG, from the Mediterranean to the North Sea, following heightened Soviet naval activity in the North Atlantic and Barents Sea. The task force, which departed U.S. Naval Station in Rota early this Saturday morning, is expected to reinforce NATO's northern maritime defenses within the week. This move comes as Soviet missiles tests in the Barents Sea and increased Soviet submarine incursions in the North Atlantic have put NATO forces on high alert. Intelligence reports indicate that several Soviet cruisers and destroyers have deployed north of the Gillik, Greenland-Iceland UK Gap, a maritime choke point that controls a cross between the Atlantic and Arctic waters. Soviets conduct missile tests. Moscow. In a move that has further strained East-West relations, the Soviet Union has announced a series of planned missile tests in the Barents Sea, fueling concerns within NATO about Moscow's military intentions. The tests, scheduled to take place within the next 2 weeks, will involve both submarine-launched and ground-based ballistic missiles. The Kremlin has framed the missile launches as part of routine readiness exercise meant to validate the Soviet Union's defense capabilities. However, Western analysts fear the timing of the tests, amid several naval confrontations, signals a show of force rather than standard drills. Indications and warning. May 2nd, 1988. Signet, Signals Intelligence, reveals that USSR is set on increasing hostile action against NATO forces in the Arctic Circle. Summary. Recent intelligence assessment a high likelihood of increased hostility between NATO and Soviet forces in the coming weeks. The conclusion is based on a convergence of signals, included elevated Soviet naval readiness in the Arctic, aggressive air probing in NATO airspace, and the Kremlin abrupt withdrawal from the INF Treaty. As political dialogue deteriorates and military postures intensifying, the risk of miscalculation or unintended engagement is rapidly rising. 1. Strategic overview. The Soviet military has recently undertaken an aggressive posture in both the North Atlantic, Black Sea, and Arctic regions, including increased submarine patrols, missile tests, and naval confrontations. 2. Recent hostile actions. North Fleet activity surge. National technical intelligence sources show heightened activity at the Northern Fleet bases near Murmansk. Satellite imagery shows vessel wakes and thermal signatures suggesting that more units have departed under heavy cloud cover. Deliberate ramming of U.S. warships, USS Karen and USS Yorktown, were intentional rammed in the Black Sea 2 days ago during freedom of navigation exercises. Soviet naval commanders have been ordered to act more aggressive when encountering NATO warships. Missile testing. The Soviet Navy is preparing a major ballistic missile test in the Barents Sea, coordinated additional launches from ground-based silos. Mission 1. Operation Shadow. May 9th, 1988. Command the Norwegian submarines in the Barents Sea to monitor Soviet naval activity. And here we go. Let's see what happens. This is my first time ever going through the campaign, by the way. So, let's see what we get. From COM NATO Headquarters, Commander KNM, COM Fleet. Okay, so the Command Atlantic Fleet. Subject, Operational Plan, Operation Shadow. 1. Situation. Amidst increased tensions between NATO and the USSR Pact, USSR naval activity in the Barents Sea has increased markedly in the last few weeks. NATO forces have been assigned to monitor their activity and to gather intelligence data. USNS Cape Guardu, a repurposed transport class, has been fitted with advanced SIGINT and listening equipment and is staging out of Kirkenes, monitoring Soviet communications. 2 Norwegian submarines have been ordered to patrol the area to monitor as well. We anticipate USSR surface forces are present in the area to attempt to deter NATO operation. 2. Missions. 2.1. KNM submarines will loiter the patrol zone and monitor USSR naval activity. 2.2. Remain covert and undetected. 3. Execution. 3.1. UNNS Cape Guardu is operating independently. 3.2. KNM forces are ordered to proceed with the mission commander's discretion. Be prepared to exit the area at a short notice. 4. Enemy OOB. Okay, so we have a surface action group in Udaloy, Savarameni, Kreshta. Okay, so the Udaloy and the Savarameni are the same class of ship, except for one distinct difference. The Udaloy is geared more towards the anti-submarine warfare. They're designed to hunt and destroy submarines. Savarameni is designed to do the exact opposite. They're designed to destroy surface warships. The Kreshta, too, is an interesting vessel. The idea of a naval fleet is that it commences with a high-low mix. What is a high-low mix? You might be asking. The high-low mix, I'm trying to remember here. The high-low mix is combining a small number of high-cost, high-capable assets with a larger number of low-cost, lower-capable assets to create a more versatile and affordable force. But in this instance, we have two higher-cost assets, the Udaloy and the Sovrameni, mixed in with the Kreshta. Now, the Kreshta 2 is defined as a anti-submarine cruiser large by the Soviets, but it's just a cruiser by the United States. So we have two anti-submarine vessels, one anti-ship vessel, which is really bad for our friendly forces, the KNM S-304 Uthar and the Utsira. So that means I'm going to have to operate with a little more caution because of these two assets, Kreshta and the Udaloy. Udaloy takes priority, but the Sovrameni is a little less dangerous. The Kreshta is a mixed bag when it comes to Soviet assets. It's a little more outdated, so I'm not as scared of it. Let's go ahead and get started. Alright. Remain inside the marked patrol area, monitor for surface and submarine contacts, await further orders. At least one submarine must survive. Start mission. So the first thing I'm going to do is pause the game. The Utag. I want you to stay below the layer. Okay, so we have a layer at 278. I want her to listen for the submarine that we're supposed to be shadowing. In the meantime, raise the ESM mast, raise the periscope. Alright, let's see what we get. Raise the ESM mast, raise the periscope. Just look around, listen, try to find some. Go ahead, clear your baffles. You might be wondering, what do I mean by go ahead, clear your baffle? So, a submarine has the hull-mounted sonar. In this instance, it is the BQS-4 and the BQR-21. The BQS-4 has a medium frequency, active and passive. Active range 8 kilometers, passive range 4 kilometers. The BQR has a frequency, low frequency, passive, 23 kilometers. Okay. So, that means theoretically, within a 23 kilometer range, it can hear anything. That is assuming that a submarine is making a sufficient amount of noise to be heard to begin with, which is a whole nother thing. But a submarine cannot hear directly behind it because of its propeller shaft. Now, most submarines fix this by having a towed array, which is literally just a hull-mounted sonar that trails behind your submarine for a few miles. But we don't get that on these diesel electrics, so they have to turn around, listen, and then they turn back around and continue. So that's what I'm going to have the Utang and the Utsira do, is go ahead, clear their baffles. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and classify this. Okay, let's go ahead, let's take a look here. It's going about 11.4 knots, so pretty slow. Good speed, good speed. These are all neutral. I can already tell. These are all neutral. But not friendly. That's neutral. And information, I can actually look at what they think it is, which they all think it's the Utsira. Oh no. Yep, okay. That's a skipper. At time 9:30 local, the USNS Cape Guardu, a U.S. auxiliary in the area, was boarded and seized by USSR vessels shadowing her. According to high-level sources in the Kremlin, the crew attempted to stop the boarding and were killed in exchange of gunfire. Oh boy, okay. Invoking Article 5. You have been ordered to respond immediately, eliminate the USSR surface group, do not damage or destroy the UNS Cape Guardu. No change. Execute at my discretion. What about the previous mission? Has that been scrubbed? Alright, so that's the Cape guarded. Okay. New mission. Alright, go ahead, go very deep. Do not go ahead, flank. Do not cavitate. Do not make excessive amount of noise. We just need to get... So cavitation, if you're wondering what that is, cavitation is whenever a submarine goes forward too fast at too shallow a depth. And so it creates bubbles. And these bubbles make a lot of noise and can be heard very easily on a sonar. And essentially is putting pots and pans behind your submarine and running full sprint. It's just telling everyone, hey, I'm here. Because this warfare that we're doing, this is anti-sub warfare, also known as absurdly slow warfare. That is actually a name that was given to it as I guess a joke, because people hate it. But it's looking around. You're blind. You're blind, but you're not deaf. So you have to maneuver through your world by listening. If you ever watched A Quiet Place, that is exactly what ASW warfare is. It's just you listen around, you hope to get lucky, and you kill them when you hear them. Right now, we're making good speed. Also, you might be wondering what this blue ring is. This is a diesel-electric submarine. A diesel-electric submarine runs on a battery. It also runs on diesel. Diesel and battery, those two combined. And whenever it's running on diesel, it's able to charge its batteries. But the diesel, whenever it's running on diesel, it makes emissions. It puts exhaust up. So you have to snorkel, and you have to get new air in, and you have to also blow out that exhaust that you make. So you have to either go to periscope depth or just flat out surface the boat and snorkel and recharge the batteries. But this is the incredibly slow warfare right now. Let's see here. Wu-Tang, I want you to go ahead, turn a little bit, and then go up there. Okay, now you can start going that way. Can I delete this, please? Game? Keyboard. Can I? Why can't I delete that? That's crazy. There we go. I guess that works. Being my depth, 1-3, dive ahead 1/3. Maneuvering aye. Multiple surface contacts detected. New surface contact detected. Go ahead, raise contact detected. The ESM mast and the periscope. And since I have a little moment here, I'm going to go ahead and tell you what an ESM mast is and what a periscope is. And also, well, you probably already know what a radar is. So the ESM mast. Whenever a warship is using radar, that's essentially using a flashlight looking in the dark. Now, that flashlight in this, imagine you're in an open field and somebody has a flashlight. And they're looking around, they're looking for you in this open field. They can only see with that flashlight, but they can see you if you're caught in that flashlight. ESM is the ability to see their flashlight, to see where their flashlight is coming from, and essentially know where that person is. You may not be able to see them, but you are able to see what they're holding, a flashlight. And that's what I'm hoping to do. I'm hoping to catch maybe a helicopter, or if I'm really lucky, a surface vessel with its radar's turned on, and I'll be able to see it, or rather detect its radar emissions with my ESM mast. And then not periscope. No, it is a periscope. Okay, so the periscope is essentially a tube, and I look up above the water, and it lets me see out to the horizon. That tends to happen. You might be wondering, well, wait, you just had that contact 2 seconds ago. Why is it? Why did you lose contact? If you notice that this track, he is 1.4 nautical miles. So his noise that he's making is masking this other ship. Oh, wait. Okay. So this is what I was talking about also, is that I was hoping to get one of these guys, which is some kind of KA. This is a CA 27PL. You might be wondering, what's the difference between all these? This is just a mod I have installed, the usable deck part. This is only for the air deck operations upgrade mod, and is identical to the CA 27PL. So we can ignore everything else. So the CA 27PL. It comes equipped with the UMGT. This is a anti-submarine active homing sonar. Alright. Sonar buoys. This is a bomb. I believe this is rocket pods. It is rocket pods. Okay. So, that sonar buoy, that is one of the ways that you can hear further out, is that you drop a literal buoy that can hear things, and that is how you extend your range for the ASW work. There's actually a mission soon, I don't know which one exactly, but there is one coming up where I can show you everything that I've been yapping about with ASW work. Major threat to surface and subsurface units alike. The CA-27 Helix. This is the NATO designation. Is a follow-up design on the CA-25 Hormone. The performance of the CA-27 The performance of the CA-27 is significantly better than the CA-25 with increased payload, range, and endurance. Let's see what we get here. We did go ahead and get a couple more things here. We got one more warship. Seeing it's really close to this other one. Oh, there's the Kreshta. Okay. Here's the unit reference card. Alright, so it's, like I was saying, this one is okay. It's definitely a low in the high-low mix. This is a second-rate ASW ship in my opinion. It's okay. It'll do in a pinch. But the definite big one is going to be that Udaloy. And you'll see in a minute when I was talking about the Udaloy and the Sovrameni, how they're the same ship designed for two separate purposes. Seems like these little birds out here, the helicopters, they've been flipping on and off their radars randomly, just 1 minute it's on, 1 minute it's off, 1 minute it's on, 1 minute it's off, which I find kind of funny. So I'm gonna go ahead, navigate, change speed 1/3, set depth, periscope. Uh-oh.
Contact detected. New air. Contact detected. New
So,
surface. Contact detected. Track 7018 is classified. Hostile helo.
no, there's just over many. Let's start off here. So, this Ka 25PL is really close to my Utang, and I really don't like that because it can very easily detect it if it decided it wants to. We're detecting it two ways. We're detecting it visually. That means we can physically see it on the periscope. We can look up into the sky and say, oh, there's a Ka 25 right there. There's a little speck. But then also, we're detecting its radar emissions, E. So that means it's likely has its radar running. And then for the S, that means sonar, that we're detecting them purely off of their sound that they're making. You can hear. My game will let me open up its pause menu. Why is my keyboard so broken all of a sudden? Goodness me. Must be my recording software. I might change it, honestly. Here we can see that we're detecting the Sovereign off of its ESM radar, off its ESM emissions. You can see that its radars are spinning, so that means that it's using the radars actively. So we're detecting its emissions from the radar. This is going to be hostile. This is going to be neutral. Raise the ESM mast. Raise the periscope. Batteries are at 56%. Go ahead, raise the snorkel. So this is what I was talking about. Where I raise the snorkel mast, and I just start recharging the batteries. The batteries are 87%. Whatever. Just go ahead. Go ahead, start snorkeling. The Sovereign is just... It's just such an interesting vessel to look at, in my opinion. So is the Udaloid. Oh boy. Oh, another Ka 20. Oh, this is the 27. Okay. So we're detecting it visually. Another one? Okay, I might have just did that myself. That's hostile. They are just swarming this area with helicopters today. Go ahead, turn away from them. He might be getting ready to drop a sono buoy. That's what I'm thinking he's getting ready to do, is drop a sono. And that's what I'm scared about, is that Ka 25 is going to drop a sonar buoy, and then that's hostile. Oh, you're using your dipping sonar. Oh boy. Okay. The fact that I'm still alive and that it hasn't moved tells me I'm probably fine, but I'm gonna go ahead, I'll stop. Just don't move. Alright. So you see how low it is to the surface? That's because it's probably using its magnetic anomaly detector. The magnetic anomaly detector allows it to detect magnetic objects that shouldn't be where they're supposed to be. So, essentially, it's a giant metal detector. That's what it is. It's a giant metal detector, and it's able to see that, hey, wait a second, there's metals that are not where they're supposed to be. That's not right. I'm gonna go ahead and go very deep. Do not cavitate, do not cavitate. Thank you. Yep, go ahead, lower all that, thank you. Just dive, dive, dive. Crash dive, buddy. In the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and order you one ahead, 1/3. Yeah, that CAW 25 is coming straight for my Wu-Tang there, so that's what I'm scared about right now.
Turn to course 066.
Let's see if I can just divert off from... Oh, she's using her dipping sonar now.
Ahead 1/3.
Jeez.
Turn to course 000.
Oh, that's really annoying. Oh, she's using active sonar. I can faintly hear it. 7.7 kilometers. Unit reference? Let's see here. So she's got... Where's her... Where's the... That's funny. They don't have the dipping sonar listed. There it is. The dipping sonar is also carried, but it doesn't give me its specifications. It's sad. Go ahead, periscope.
Bring my depth 13. Dive I.
Oh, my keys are working again. Yep. Oh, I saw it for a second. Yes, okay, so I can turn the music down now. So that you can actually hear the sound of this. As you can hear, each ship has its unique sound. Also, we do have the Sovrameni here. Or the Udaloy, my bad. The Udaloy. The Udaloy and the Sovrameni. I know this seems crazy that they're the same ship, and they really are actually the same ship. It's just one is specialized in ASW, one is specialized in anti-ship. Known in Russian, so this is the Sovrameni. Known in Russian as the Blizzard, the Sovrameni is intended to fight alongside the Udaloy, but optimized for the anti-ship mission. Compared to the earlier Crush 2, it is improved air defense capability, and the use of SSN-22 Sunburn missiles give it gruesome or fearsome anti-ship capability, especially in littoral waters. Now, littoral waters is the environment that we're in. It's very shallow. It's very close to your territorial waters. Deep waters would be something like the mid-Atlantic. I believe the definition of actually littoral is, let me see here. There's an actual definition for littoral. Littoral is defined as, quote, military operations in or near the shallow waters of coastlines, also known as the littoral zone. And then the Udaloy is known in Russian as the Fregat. The Udaloy is the most modern class of large anti-submarine ships in service with the Soviet Navy. These ships are so specialized in ASW they have produced air defense, but multiple helicopters, making them very dangerous for submarines.
Track 7023 is classified. Hostile helo.
Still finding little things out here. Let's go ahead and take a look at what I have for weapons. The TP-612. Guidance type, none. It's wire guided. It's a heavyweight Swedish heavyweight wire-guided torpedo with no seeker. And in the Mark 37 is a USN standard ASW lightweight torpedo. Introduced in 1959, it is too slow and underperforming against modern high-performance submarines. The Mod 1 added some wire guidance at the cost of some speed, so it only goes 24 knots. Oh lord. That is actually kind of sad. Oh boy. So as you can see, this merchant is kind of in the middle of me in the helicopter. You can actually, where's the helicopter at? It's somewhere over there. The helo, the warship here, or not the warship, the vessel here, that merchant ship is in between me and my submarine. That means that it is actually helping block out my noise and my active return signature, so that whenever it is being actively pinged, this vessel is drowning out those active pings. It's eating them. So that really works for me. So let's go all stop. Interesting, these combat vessels aren't going active sonar. This one here is acting as a... Oh boy, okay, it's just... I'm just honestly waiting for these vessels to reach about here. At this point, I will strike 3.8, 5. Okay, so that one's acting as a... Okay. Okay, well, I think we're good. For now. I might have just jinxed myself there by saying that. Neutral. Oh no. Cooked. That submarine was headed straight for me. And if I don't dive, it's probably found me by this point. It probably did find me though, so I'm expecting torpedoes here in any second. I hear a lot of active pings. I just hope that they don't know where I'm at. I'm hoping that this merchant here is doing what, like I was saying it was going to do, which is that it's going to kind of absorb a lot of my signature, make it very hard for me to be detected. Or about, okay, so this here is about halfway to the attack point. Okay. Okay, go ahead. All stop. Periscope. Hostile. I'm calling ESM Periscope. Okay. What do we got? Oh, we're well within range. Okay. So this is what I'm going to go ahead and do. I'm gonna say fire 2 at that. Let's go ahead and clear up my map real quick. Delete that as well. Okay, so this is what I'm gonna go ahead and do. I'm gonna go ahead, salvo 2 at the Udaloy, 1 at the Kreshta, salvo 2 at the Sovereign 1 at the Kreshta. Alright. And they're off. The Sovereign and the Kreshta are really going to get the brunt of this attack. Or, well, the Kreshta, not the... Udaloy and the Sovereign are just going to get the two torpedoes from the one side, but that poor Kreshta is getting double whams by both sides here.
Turn to course 012. Hell my. Track 7035 is classified.
It seems that the helos have moved outwards more, which is good for me because it means that they're not looking for me anymore. Which is actually really nice. I'm going to turn my mission music back on now. Alright. Let's see this happen. Are you? Okay. Kreshta is getting hit first. Yeah, Kreshta's getting hit first, followed by the Sovereign, followed by the Udaloy. Here we go. Oh, I messed that up. I wanted it to go for the engines. Knockout propulsion. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Mission complete. All it took was 1 hit each. Okay. Cool. So mission complete, I guess. The Otlinchi EM-671 Sovereign destroyed. Admiral Yomechev Kreshta 2 destroyed. Marshal Vasilievsky Udaloy destroyed. Kobins undamaged. Exit the mission, please. May 10th, 1988. As NATO responds to the seizure of a spy ship, USS Cape Guardu, the world braces for war. Mission 2, Operation Revenge, Soviets. May 11th, 1988. Take command of the USSR force at Petrovolsk to conduct a retaliatory strike on U.S. forces in the Pacific.